Guys, welcome back to Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. We are in the silliest of goofiest moods today. If you go to YouTube, Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy on YouTube, our background is always slaying. However, because she's a green screen, it keys out awkwardly. So Allie is rocking the hair mask and it looks a little odd. My head looks odd. So tip for your green screen users, wear your hair down because it is legit wild. But what are you gonna do? We have to be productive, okay?
hmm
I've got to wear the hair mask. I'm gonna wear it to the gym. You ever do that?
I have never done a hair mask before.
What? You've never done a hair mask?
No.
That's just insulting.
I mean, like I'll do like hair oil overnight and then wash it out the next day.
I think that counts as like a mask.
And by oil, I mean it's just like argan oil I put on the ends. Like it's nothing like
Oh, when it's a hair mask, root to tip. Root to tip. Yeah, root to
you
tip.
use a specific hair mask or like make your own.
I use one like I bought it, but it has argan oil. It has like other
Mm.
shit in it. I don't use it often, but I just felt like my hair needed it because we're coming
hmm
into like winter is always a lot on the hair.
Yeah.
Frizzes it out, dries it out. I said, "Girl, hit that reset." I did a chemical exfoliant last week that I left on a little too long, so it burnt my face a little bit. But
What?
now, huh, what?
Good. No, go
Huh?
ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, well, now we're at the point where it's my skin is starting to feel soft again, but it
Oh.
was a little bit too, I left it on like a little bit too long.
What brand do you use for chemical exfoliant?
Dr. Gross. Dr.
Hmm.
Gross. And it comes in like it's like a two pack. So like you
hmm
wipe on the chemical exfoliant, you wait 2 minutes, and then you wipe it off with a neutralizer. Like it's a step one, step two. I didn't set a timer and I just like counted in my head. I counted 2 minutes, which like obviously I it was probably 3 minutes or something. But
Uh-huh.
I mean, like my skin is also sensitive, so like the 2 minutes really is like is really the sweet spot. But it's fine. Like now I have like great skin. We got some of that shit got off. The hair, we're doing
Yeah.
good. I got a haircut and color
Ooh.
coming up soon. So prepare to be sick of me.
I need to get a facial still. I had to cancel mine. They canceled on me. It was a whole thing. I need to do that still. But my new hairdresser said when you do masks and oils on your hair, be very cautious of how much heat you're putting on unless you're doing
Mm,
a detox shampoo because if you're doing like I won't curl my hair the day after I wash my hair just because
mm,
like it's like if I do, especially if I do an oil on it before, because then you're just reburning that oil on your hair.
mm,
So she
mm.
said do a detox shampoo after
Like a
you do.
clarifying shampoo.
Yes, I need to
Mm.
get one of those. I'm like,
You don't have one?
no.
Girl, well, when you come to my house, I got samples on samples. Don't ask me why I have so many fucking samples of everything. It's bizarre, but yeah, no, love a clarifying shampoo. Love it. It's just
Like
it's
when
all the gunk out.
I know when I say I used Tresemme until I was, I don't know how old, maybe 18, 19.
Some
Like we didn't,
people love it.
yeah, we didn't use, I mean, like we didn't grow up like doing anything bougie for our you know what I mean? Like, I got
Yeah.
my once a year haircut, like, that was it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think there is like a something about like teenage girls not wanting to cut their hair. It's just like because like the hair is like this is how I feel beautiful. But like now
uh,
we're like you look so much better, and this is a compliment with short hair. Like
I know,
it looks so slay,
I know.
and it just feels so good to be like liberated and be like I can cut my hair short, and it doesn't mean
Yep,
fucking shit about like my
use.
hotness, you know?
Yes. I mean, honestly, I feel like it just I have a longer neck too, so I'm, like, really leaning into, like, any, like, high neck stuff. It just looks
Mm.
I feel like it looks really good, like, on and I tried ordering side tangent about Gap. People were like, "Go to Gap, get clothes from Gap, everything's great from Gap." I ordered $200 worth of clothes from Gap. Now, mind you, I ordered, like, 2 shirts, like, 1 shirt in, like, 3 sizes because they have a tall size too, and I have
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
long monkey arms, so it was like, I need to test. I don't know what the tall is like. So I was like a medium large and then like medium tall. So like I only got like a couple different shirts. All of them sucked.
Like they quality was bad or sizing?
Yes. So the sizing was like fine, but it was like the t-shirt or it's like just like their cotton, mostly cotton blend. It felt very cheap. It did not feel luxurious. It did not
Really?
feel, yes. And then almost every, and this is like a bad shirt because this doesn't like show the issue, but every single t-shirt, I'm turning sideways. So this part right here on the t-shirt, like by the armpit,
Yeah.
it had so much extra fabric when I would stand. It was like out like this. Like it looked terrible. And I was like, every single shirt had that, or they fit me awkwardly on the shoulders, so it didn't like fit.
Oh.
It just looked and had like extra fat. It just honestly looked so cheap. And I was like, great. So I just bought this gift card because I bought it from Market District to get points from Giant Eagle. So now I'm returning everything today, and I'm gonna just go like I need some like basic
You
tanks.
need to go in person, honestly.
It it's like a 45-minute drive.
I know, but like on it, I have found so much good stuff from Gap, like
I
basic little
know.
tees. And like
No,
some, I do agree, sometimes their shit is like whack, but
yeah,
in person, like I hate in person shopping, but if it's for
I
like a
know.
basic tee, like
But I
it needs to
got
be
all
the
of them.
right size.
I
But
know. I got.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's
I don't
not,
know.
I
It's
hate
like they
that though. I hate
trust
that.
me. It's you because that's all I wanted. So I might try
No.
again. It's always like I just want like black, white,
What about
tan.
Old Navy?
That feels like even lower quality.
And, okay, offensive to the Old Navy lovers over here. Old Navy is popping off. I'm sorry, you have not. Okay, Old Navy used to be like kind of like cheap shit, right?
Uh-huh.
Now their jeans are solid quality. I
Really?
love like a little baby tee from them. I have sweaters. Like,
Huh.
they are on something. Like,
Hmm.
there's a rebrand. And to be fair, you have to like, I don't like shopping online for like something like Old Navy. Abercrombie, I
Mhm.
totally trust. But
Mhm.
Old Navy, you gotta be in the person. You gotta feel the fabrics. You gotta,
No,
it's
I
an
totally
immersive
agree.
experience because it is true. Some of the shit is like totally cheap. But
Yeah, no, I agree. My mom was like, "It
I'm
looks
play.
terrible." And I'm
Ugh,
like,
I
"Okay,
hate that.
maybe yeah, maybe you can't." I don't know. So, that's where we're at. I'm returning all of it today and then reordering the new stuff. And maybe I'll get like this is like literally like a $5 tank. My mom was like, "I don't like this." And I've been wearing it all the time. I love it.
Oh, I love it.
Um, I know, right? But I like the high neck. So I'm like trying to find
Yeah.
everything with like a high neck.
Express has a lot of like high kind of high neck like that. Like I have a blue one that looks like that, but it's not like cotton. I don't know what fabric it is, but like sometimes I'll work out in it because it's kind of compression. Like sometimes I don't have to
Mhm.
wear a bra with it.
Mhm.
Um, but I really like it. And it's like cropped, but it's not like crazy cropped. Like it like meets your pants nicely. I like it.
Mm.
Not a big fan of Express, but sometimes they have like randomly they come through.
Well, here's the issue. I have to buy it from Gap because I have the gift
Oh, you
card.
have the gift card. Right,
So
right, 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 right.
we have to make something work.
Right, 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 right,
I know.
right.
So I'm gonna look, see what I can find. I'm just if I find a good tank, I'm gonna buy like 5, all in the
Yes.
same color, and then maybe find something else that I'll like. So.
You'll find, and they have like spring and summer stuff coming out, so they might have like better tanks or little tees,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
guys. It's honestly the worst. I was, before we get into our topic today, which we are deep diving sister wives, because I am
Oh,
so
wait. Also, this
always
is
gotta let them know. What?
I know, but this is the episode after Madison where all these
Oh,
episodes came
yes,
out.
you're
So
right.
if you were here, after listening to that amazing episode with Madison, side note, sidetrack, I don't know. I got
Sidebar.
to sidebar, side quest. I got to meet her. It was like so last minute because I was just like look on Instagram and then I saw she was in New York City. I was like, "Oh, wait, I'm here too." And then she was like, "Oh my God, let's go do something." So we went to dinner and mind you, we'll do a recap of the New York City trip my mom picked. I won't let her live this down. The worst restaurant we went to out
Oh no.
of the whole trip. It was like it was like Olive Garden. Like, we wanted good
Oh
Italian.
no.
I know.
Not the OG.
The idea, the concept was there of why she wanted to
Like
go,
it
and she
looked cute.
yes, and she got some I can tell you more about it later, more
Yeah, yeah.
recommendations, and they're, "Go here," but I don't trust people's recommendations. I'm gonna trust, like, the ongoing, like, reviews on their site, like like, you know what I mean? Because that the recommendation could be the one person who gave a 5 star when it was, like, shit, and, like, mind you, it was, like, shit, and it was expensive too, like, for what we got, I was like, "That wasn't worth it." Anywho, Madison came to dinner with us. It was so fun, and got to talk to her. And I was like, she's looking and thinking about moving to New York City. I'm like, do you need a roommate? I'm
Legit.
like- but if you were here after listening to Madison, welcome. This one is kind of like we're doing a little recap on just I don't know, girl talk, and then also we're doing Allie's deep dive on Sister Wives because she is obsessed
Hmm.
with Sister Wives.
Yeah.
And that'll be today's episode. Not too much on the health and fitness today because we have more important stuff to talk about.
Truthfully, like this one is for the heart and the soul of it all. Like this is our therapy.
Yes.
I don't know what we were talking about before that.
You are about to go into Sister Wives.
I think I had something to say, but I don't remember.
Okay. Should I do a
Well,
little recap on New York City?
yeah, I think so because my brain all of a sudden it just went "Mrr." Like I was saying something I don't know. Anyways, New York. What was it was your first time there, which is
Oh,
crazy to me.
I'm ready to go back.
I love it.
Loved it. The Broadway show, oh, amazing. Harry Potter, loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Like I had so much fun. The Harry Potter show, like everything, it was a play. It was not a musical. My mom and I thought it was a musical, and we are both like not really musical people. But then I was like waiting like for the pin to drop. I'm like, when do they start singing? When does it start? And they never sang, and I was like, that was actually perfect. Um, but it was great. I mean, the dancing, I just couldn't get over like the special effects they had. I was like, how is this not a movie? Like there were some crazy special effects. So I loved it. We walked like 20 plus thousand steps every single day, which was hard on my mom because she that was like 6x what she walks. And I was like,
Mm.
Mom, we were talking about doing another trip later, and I was like, you need to get your steps up. Like, you cannot be walking under 5,000 steps and then go on vacation and think you're gonna walk all over. Like,
Yeah, because
she
your
was
hips are gonna hurt.
yeah, she was dying. So,
Oh,
another good reason why, to get your steps up, because if you wanna explore things, like, I don't wanna be limited by the amount of steps I can walk. No, ma'am.
because bitches love to travel, love to walk around, all this sort of stuff. And you get mad steps in, but then it's on the daily. It's just really hard to get in over 5,000 steps. And it's like bullshit. When you're walking home from the bar, you got more steps in than you do on a
Literally.
day to day. So
Yeah.
incentives, ladies, incentives.
Incentives. But that was super fun. I mean, we rode the subway for the first time. We rode it 8 times, I think, 8 times, and that was, like, great. I mean, once we didn't really figure it out, it was kinda confusing because there's, like, the A to E train, and then there's, like, the 1, 2, 3, so, like, we were, like, always on the wrong platform, which was funny, but we never were late for anything, we didn't, like, miss anything, so that was fun. Went to Ellis Island, saw the Statue of Liberty, only thing we missed was 9/11 Memorial in the museum, but it was just, like, we literally forgot to stop there on the way to lunch, and then, like, it
Mm.
was, like, in the polar opposite direction, so we would have to, like, take a whole whole 'nother train, so it was just, like, not it just wasn't feasible to go back. Food, amazing. Coffee galore, so much good coffee. I did break my coffee fast for that, had a lot of coffee, and today I'm going back to no coffee, so I have drinking lots of tea, decaffeinated. What else? Another trick that we do, I always do on vacations is like we will make breakfast at home. So we had like a kitchenette. So we went to the grocery store and got, just like breakfast stuff. And that just like
Yeah.
saves you. My mom was like, I'm not really hungry. You know how moms are like, I don't need any protein in the morning. And I was like, bitch, fucking eat this. And a couple hours later, and by eat this, we made like egg sandwiches. She was like, "Oh, I'm so glad I ate earlier." I'm like, "I
Yeah.
know, because we're
Yeah.
not gonna be eating till, like, 1." Like,
Yeah.
you go like, I eat normally, like, 4 times a day. On vacation, you're eating, like, 3, because you're
Yeah.
busy and meals are bigger, whatever. So I had to force feed her multiple times, and she was good.
I just said, yeah, like
Yeah.
that's not, and for those morning breakfast people, if I have to wake up really early, I am not a morning breakfast person. I wake up, especially if I have to do something. If I have to
Mhm.
wake up before 6 a.m. and I have to do something,
Oh, yeah, that's
I am so anxious, like
yeah,
running to the toilet anxious. So I cannot eat, like I will vomit. But I'm always like, just make something and bring it with you because you will
yep,
probably be hungry an hour later.
yep, yep,
So if you're not hungry in the morning, bring it with you. Like that breakfast
yep.
sandwich, put it in your fucking fanny pack and have it later,
That's
please.
literally what we did. Like,
Yeah.
we would just, like, wrap it up, and go when we're walking
Mm-hmm.
on the way to, like, Ellis Island. That's what we did. My
Yeah.
mom, it was a struggle for us to, like, eat whole coffee. My mom forgot her phone. I told you that, but you guys don't know
Yep.
that.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
think of it this way. My mom doesn't have a phone. She's basically legally blind half the time. I'm the person, literally, I'm the person with the navigation, with our 911 dialer, essentially, something happens, trying to figure out how we're going from this subway to the next subway, where I held everything, and so yeah, that was tough. But no, it was a lot of fun trying to think what else we do. Went to a jazz club, Birdland. It's like the biggest, longest history of jazz clubs. It has like crazy different people, huge, that have been going there. It's been open since like the 50s, I think, or something like that. And then we went to an impromptu. They had different levels. It was like a restaurant and then a cocktail bar and then like a nightclub at the top. Really wasn't a nightclub. But they had some singing. It was really good. So that was fun. But I don't know. I loved it. I loved it. Central Park, we literally only walked like a third of Central Park. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't even go through the whole thing. It's monstrous. But I'm ready to go back. I loved it. I could live there. It was so fun. I mean, I don't you like get used to all the people and the noises, and like I had a blast. I'm like ready to go back.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's so funny because we used to take like group trips, I guess. Like it would be my mom, my sister, my best friend, my other best friend, her sister, her mom, and then a couple of other girls. So there would be like two parents, maybe like 10 girls.
Mhm.
And they used to take us like every summer to New York. And it would be like
Aw.
the moms in their minivans, two minivans. The girls are split, the older girls, the younger girls. And we would get like two hotel rooms, sometimes three
Mhm.
hotel rooms if we couldn't fit. And it was just like the most fun. Like
That
doing like
sounds
weird,
fun.
sketchy shit, like buying fake bags on Canal Street. Like there are times where like we were like going underground and like they
Oh
like
my
put the
god.
grate down and like one of the moms would go down with us and then like you lose cell service. It was like the weirdest thing. Like we would it was awesome. Like and we would go there. It used to be this place. It's like it's so like kitschy. Like it definitely is like a
Uh-huh.
tourist trap, but it's called
Uh-huh.
Jekyll and Hyde and it was like this like Halloween kind of themed restaurant and as kids you
Uh-huh.
fucking eat that shit up and
Yeah.
oh my God, we used to just do everything and we probably went like 6 summers in a row.
Mhm.
It was just so fun. Like,
Well, I could see that being a lot of fun.
oh
Like,
my God. It just like, yeah. And we were like so young, but like we felt so old. Like we got our girlfriends together. We're all like dressing cute. Like the
yeah.
moms would kind of like walk a little bit behind us,
Uh-huh.
like watching, like, but we were like, we're so grown up. We're in this city. And like, look at my flip phone. Like it just was so, it's like a core memory. So
Uh,
I'm glad you got to have like your first experience. Like you went with your mom. You should, if you ever want to go back, if Kate's still living here, we could make a little trip because that girl, she fucking loves New York. Like that would be so fun.
yeah, and there was the Airbnb I wanted to stay in
Yeah.
was very inexpensive. My mom vetoed it, of course.
Where was it?
Uh, I'd have to look at my list
Oh,
that I
okay.
had.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, she vetoed it because there were shared spaces, but I was like,
Oh,
it was like $600 for like,
yeah.
and compared to like the thousand something. So I was like,
Yeah.
but it had good reviews. I mean, I would do it. However, do you know Brand Flakes on TikTok?
Yes.
He posted how he stays in New York City for free. And it is a shared, it's a flat with like different rooms. Some of
Okay.
them are shared, so like there is like, the you don't know who's in that room type situation.
Yeah.
All you have to do, and it's very nice. It's a very pretty apartment. It gave me maybe a couple grades down from Paige DeSorbo's apartment. Like it looked kind of like that, like wide
Okay.
open.
Yeah.
All you
Okay.
have to do is post content for the 3 brands that are there, and they tell you exactly what to do, like, 1 TikTok video, 1 this.
What?
I was like, "Bitch, I'm about to fucking sign up for that and make content and then just go on a cruise."
Damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so weird to me that like people like snuff at like influencers saying it's not a real job. And like granted, you're not a doctor, you're not a nurse. Like it's not life fucking changing
Yeah.
shit. But
Yeah.
bitch, why are you hating? Like you could make
Yep.
content and stay at a place for free and like
Yep.
live your life, make your money. Like,
Yep.
oh my God, that's amazing. I love that.
I know,
That's
and
really cool.
I wanna do next year, whether it's international for Christmas or I wanna do New York City for Christmas. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna do trusted house sitters or I'm gonna try to apply and get to that place.
Yeah, honestly, get that application in early, girl.
Literally.
Oh my God, that's so fun. Well, I love your experience. You are gonna have to well, we have stories. And honestly, guys, if you're here for the juice, stay because the stories that are gonna come from Madison's trip are full government because it's serious. I'm so excited. But for now,
Well, there
I
might
told yes,
well, real
what?
quick, just to get them even more excited, there
Okay.
might be an update to said stories in a few months later. So we'll see when these I don't know when the original story will come out. It'll come out when it
It
come
is
out, but
coming. It's
it's
coming.
coming. It's
Hashtag coming to theaters now.
coming.
That was like always such a gag. You're sitting in the movies, you like watch this like advert, and then you're like, oh my God, when is it coming? And it'll be like May 2000, whatever. And it's like, that's so far away. So the release date is
Uh,
TBD, but the
yeah,
tea is hot.
the
Don't
tea
spill it
is
on
hot.
yourself. You will get burned.
Did I ever tell you real quick, side quest, how I had hot boiling soup on my lap spilled?
It burned your crotch.
Yep.
That
Yep.
happened to me one time.
Really?
Not soup, coffee.
Oh.
So you tell your
Oh,
experience, and then I'll tell mine.
my I literally remember every moment of it. Besides the pain, don't remember the pain. I was watching Scooby-Doo and obviously
Obviously.
young, obviously. And we had this like blue like children's table. And I'm sitting watching like the TV this way. I'm sitting at the children's table and we had these and mind you, my mom poured boiling soup in like a plastic container. Like, we
Yeah.
didn't know what we were doing back then. But it
Ugh.
was this cute little bowl where it had a straw connected to
Of course.
it.
Oh, those were the slayest. Those were the slayest.
And I can't remember the way my arms were, but she put the bowl down on the table and I turned and it came forward and it went on my crotch. I don't know what I was wearing. This was before 7th grade. So I was probably like in 2nd or 3rd grade. And luckily across the street lived the school nurse. So my mom, like we ran over to the school nurse and then Ellie. And I don't remember it's crazy, I don't remember anything else except for the moment I turned. Like, I remember
Oh,
watching Scooby-Doo and then turning my body, and then that's it. And then, yeah, so my mom is like we talk about it sometimes. She's like, "Ah, that was the biggest mistake I ever made." She's like,
she
"Why did I?"
probably felt so gutted.
Oh my god, yeah. I just remember they're like, "If it was any closer to your actual crotch, like, this would have been really bad." Yeah. So, yeah, that was
That's
that.
so scary.
Mhm.
Not the bowl with the straw.
I know.
Oh my
I
God.
miss those bowls. Those are good for
That stuff was the
cereal.
shit. I was drinking, so I'm drinking coffee. I don't even remember. My mom was like she was mad at me about something, and I was watching my nephew, and I just was kind of like in a bad mood. And I always do this. You can't see it. I put my coffee on my knee. Like I specifically will buy a cup that like can
Oh,
sit, come. I always do this. Like you can, I'm
that's
literally doing it right now. I
that's
always do
sketch.
it. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I mean, obviously, I still do it to this day. But so I had it on my knee, and all of a sudden it dumped onto like my pubic bone area, like the crotch. I stand up, I rip my pants off. I'm like talking to my nephew. I was like, turn around. Like I screamed. I was like, turn around. I have to take my clothes off. I rip my pants off. I run into the shower. I like the water's on cold. I'm like praying to the gods, putting my crotch
Oh.
in the water. My mom comes up. She's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I just spilled fucking hot coffee all over me." And then she got me like some
Oh.
burn ointment, and it was.
Yep.
I didn't learn though. I still put my coffee on my knee, but it was.
Oh.
It like was disgusting. Like it bubbled. So gross. And I
I'm
don't
pretty
know.
sure
Like
mine did too, but I
it
can't
probably was
remember.
like a second degree because like third
Yeah.
degree is when you have to get a graft, right?
Ah, yeah, sorry, I just, like, visualized the
No,
pain.
it was so bubbly and disgusting. I was like, kill me now. And I wasn't a young
Ugh.
woman. I was an old woman, probably 21.
Oh, oh, I'm
Yeah,
dying
so
inside.
embarrassing. But burnt crotches and sister wives.
When did we start podcasting today?
11.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have kind of been pestering Maddie. I wanted to do a deep dive on this because, like, honestly, I need to know if there's more people out there that are fucking as passionate as I am. Like, I see the
Yes.
TikTokers, I see people talking about on YouTube about my sister wives. I love the show. I've loved it. I have been here from the beginning, you guys. Ever since it popped on TLC, my sister and I have been TLC warriors from day one. Like, give us
Mhm.
any weird show, we were sat, we were watching it.
Mhm. My
So,
Weird Addictions, that's a good
My
one.
Strange Addictions, Extreme Cheapskate, Extreme
9 Day
Couponers,
Fiancé.
90 Day Fiance, anything. We were sat.
Home Makeover? Extreme Home Makeover.
Oh, What Not to Wear.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Say Yes to the Dress.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Love. So I always rewatch shows. Like that's my comfort media. I love rewatching shows. Season 19 came out earlier this year and they split it into two because they're really, really far behind because of COVID. So they're desperately trying to catch up. So season 19 is much longer than the seasons normally are. So it's coming back this spring. So I figure it's perfect timing to drop a deep dive. And one of my bestie gals is started it from the beginning as well because she likes watching weird shows as well. She was just watching Breaking Amish and I was like, dude, watch Sister Wives. Like if you're watching Breaking Amish, you need to watch Sister Wives. So we're going to just like give it a deep dive and ask your questions. I'm here for it. I am the historian. It's weird that I know so much about these people. But alas, you're muted.
Yes. But you've been watching them from the beginning, so
I've
of
been watching them
course.
from the beginning. Like I'm invested. So season one starts. We have Cody, the husband, and the three original wives. We have Mary, the first wife, Janelle, the second wife, Christine, the third wife. Now, Cody and Mary were married for several years, maybe 3 years before Janelle got married to the family. And then, like a year later, Christine got married to the family. So, like, that was a real tight knit group. All three of them were married before they had any kids. So, that kind of like establishes like that family unit. Like, no kids. We were all married together. And then they had 13, 13 kids all together
Wait, so how are they all married?
to Cody. So Mary, the first wife, is legally married to him and
Yeah.
spiritually married. Janelle is spiritually married. Christine's spiritually married
What how is that like you can
through their
choose?
religion. They're fundamentalist
Ah.
Mormons. So
Mm,
Mormons stopped practicing polygamy, I don't know, a lot of years ago, but
mhm,
fundamentalist Mormons practice polygamy and they have a lot of the same beliefs as Mormons, but like
mhm,
the defining factor is that like Mormons do not practice polygamy. So
mhm.
they have like their marriages are like covenants. So like it's a sealed covenant, it's like very sacred. And the belief is that on earth They are supposed to work out their shit essentially and grow as human beings. And that's why plural marriage is something that if you're called to do, you're supposed to do it because it's hard and you're supposed to work things out because when you all die, you will all be together eternally because you are all sealed together.
Oh, interesting.
It's interesting. So they have 13 kids.
Hmm.
Mary has one kid. Janelle has six kids. Christine has six kids. So they have 13 altogether. Then when the
Wait,
show,
is there anything within maybe their family or the rules of like you should have, right? Isn't Mormons like they want to have
yeah,
more kids?
they never say this on the show,
Yeah.
but you as a woman are more valuable the more children you have.
Mm,
And so Mary was only able to have one kid just with
mhm.
like fertility issues and stuff. And people speculate that that comes into play later down the line.
Oh.
So when the show starts, it's the three of them. And basically, they want to come out and like be open polygamous because it is illegal technically.
Hmm.
And they want to stop hiding. And while they are coming out with this, they're like, oh, and we're courting this new woman for the family, Robin.
Hmm.
So Robin is like 30. She
Hmm.
has three kids. She's divorced. But mind you, it has been 16 years since Cody married Christine.
How did he go that long without?
It's odd. It's really odd because if you remember, Christine, Mary, and Janelle were married pretty closely all together. They had all the kids, and then 16 years later, you bring in this new wife. It's
That is
odd.
weird.
So,
Is there any lore around that? Like why?
so people do say online that like Robin was like when she heard this family was starting to film and get a show, she like really like kind of put her neck out there to like
Hmm.
be married to Cody to like get the fame. And who knows, right? But Robin is very unlikable from the beginning because not only is she coming into this very well established family,
Hmm.
but you see the treatment of her is like far better than the other wives. And it just is problematic from the jump. Like,
Hmm.
even though if you've never seen it, you get a bad vibe.
Hmm.
You're like, she's nice, but I can also see like this was weird here, and it just gets worse. So they're courting her. She ends up getting married to Cody. So now he has four wives.
Hmm.
Mind you, as they're courting, Christine is pregnant with her sixth child. So it
Okay.
also is just really frustrating that he's out courting this other woman to marry her while he has a pregnant wife at home. Like,
But
red flag.
uh,
After 16 years, you choose to start courting somebody when your other wife is pregnant.
yes, that is weird, but also like I mean, he has other wives, like you know what I mean?
He
Like
has other wives, but they all came together before there were any kids. Like, it's just odd. It's odd. And Christine was older and she had a really bad miscarriage previously.
mhm.
So it was just odd. And literally, as Christine is in labor, he's like seen smooching on Robin.
Yeah,
Like, Christine's
that's
in
a
the
little bit.
hospital. She's like, yep, my water just broke. So, like, you're gonna wanna get here. And he's like smooching on Robin. And then the camera follows them out, of course. And then he comes back and kisses her again. And it's like, go. Like, go to the hospital. You are so weird. Like, gross, ick.
Yeah.
So, and not to mention, while Cody was courting Robin, she lived 5 hours from the family. So he would go on weekends, 5 hour drive, and usually bring like two of his kids from like the big family to like intermingle with Robin and her kids. 5 hours one way on a weekend. So like you're not seeing your family.
Is so this lady, is she Mormon?
She's fundamentalist Mormon. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, like I don't
Wait,
think
are they
anybody that was like not a fundamentalist Mormon would like want to marry into a plural family.
right? Testing the waters, that type of thing. So why did I think divorce wasn't an option in Mormonism?
It's not that it's not an option, but
It's
usually
frowned upon, like
in the
Catholics.
Mormon faith, I mean, divorce in a lot of religions is like not
Yeah,
very well accepted.
yeah.
But I think in the Mormon faith, men have an easier time with divorce. Like they're not looked
Mm,
at like they're not as scrutinized as much.
mm,
I think if there's like a specific grounds for divorce, then maybe it's different. Like if it was an
mhm,
abusive situation or something
mhm,
or abandonment.
mhm,
But Robin is divorced. So
mhm,
she had the three kids with this guy, Preston, I think, and she is divorced from him.
mhm,
So they get married. The family goes from three wives to four wives, 13 kids to 16 kids. And then all of a sudden, after the family comes out, they go on the Today Show, they're going on all these news circuits.
mhm.
Utah files a lawsuit against them for bigamy,
What's
which is
bigamy?
like being married to more than one person.
But he's
Like
not legally.
legally, they're not, but they purport to be married and they act as married. They say they're married. So
What was the
technically,
first thing you said?
purport.
What's
So like
that?
they live together, they act as we're married, we call each other married. Like it's not like, oh, this is my girlfriend. This
No,
is
purport. I just never heard
purport
that word. I never heard that word.
to act as.
Oh, I'll
Like
have
we're
to add that.
acting as we're purporting as married. We're acting as
Oh.
married. And this is where the gray area comes in because like as a consenting adult, you should be able to live the life that you want to and create the family that you want to,
Yeah,
however it is.
yeah.
However, in polygamy, there are a lot of abusive situations and child
Mhm.
brides and
Ugh.
a lot like sexual abuse, like a lot of really bad stuff.
Mhm.
And so and not every family is like that. However, you're not looking at like you don't make a rule for the exception, right? You make a
Mhm.
rule for the bigger picture. Like just because they're not being abusive doesn't mean that other people in polygamy aren't abused, right?
Yes.
So the lawsuit happened. They were threat like being there was threats of like the dad could go to jail, Cody could go to jail, the family could be split up, all these things. So they move like in the night out of Utah to Las Vegas.
But isn't Utah the capital for that? Like,
Well, for Mormonism, not
oh, not for polygamy.
fundamentalist Mormon. Like Mormons are almost embarrassed by fundamentalist Mormons because like they practice polygamy. It's like,
Oh,
oh my God, that's such an embarrassing part of our like history.
okay, it makes sense now.
So they moved to Vegas, and it's interesting, right? This is where the Robin aspect starts getting interesting because you hear as they're moving to Vegas, Robin's dad was like a land surveyor in Vegas. So it's like,
Uh-huh.
are they moving to Vegas because like Robin had a say in them moving to Vegas because like it's close to her family?
Uh-huh.
Maybe, maybe not, but it's odd. They didn't
Uh-huh.
know anybody else in Vegas. And also, they could have landed anywhere. Like, they could have landed anywhere in Nevada. Why did they go to Vegas? It's odd. It's
Yeah.
odd. It's a
Yeah.
tiny detail you might miss on your first watch.
Mhm.
I might have missed it. Wouldn't miss it again. Um, so they land in Vegas
Uh-huh.
and they're all separated in four different rental homes. They're trying to figure out how can we be together as a family.
So wait, when they were in Utah, did they live like in a mansion or is it like separate?
In Utah, the three OG wives, Christine, Mary, and Janelle, all lived
Yeah.
in like a polygamist home. So it was like a big home, but it had
Oh,
three apartments.
gotcha.
Robin when she moved from St. George to Lehigh, she moved into a rental like a block away because there just wasn't room. There was only three apartments in the family home.
Gotcha. Does
So
he
yeah,
go ahead, finish that thought.
she never experienced living together like the women did, the other three.
Gotcha. So did I feel like I've seen maybe on like commercials for it or just like I randomly watch it now. I kind of want to watch it from the beginning. It's on Netflix.
HBO Max, I can give you the login.
I know we say this every time. I need your login.
Text me and I will send you the credentials.
Um, do they talk about how he splits up his time? Like
Yes.
because oh, okay, go ahead.
So when they were living in Lehigh, the three OGs,
Mhm.
he would kind of meander around because it was all technically one home. It was connected on the insides. Like it wasn't a main door. Like it was like a door to your bedroom, like that split up the houses. Like it
Uh-huh.
wasn't a big like front door, right?
Yeah.
So he would kind of meander. He would sleep with one wife like every night. So like
Oh
one,
my
two, three, and
God.
you just like rotate. But when Robin got into the mix, he obviously like let's just say he slept with Mary. And I'm only saying sleeping just because it helps to
Yeah.
separate because when they were all in the same house. But like Mary, Janelle, Christine, all in the same house. And then on the fourth night, he would go to Robin's house
Uh-huh.
and then come back to the main house. When they
Uh-huh.
lived in the rental homes in Las Vegas, they were pretty separate. So, like, it was a
Mhm.
mile away from each other, or Christine and Robin were like on the same street. Janelle was like half a mile, Mary was a mile. So, every day he would wake up. Let's say he woke up at Mary's house, he would like spend the day there. He would then drive sorry, I have hair in my mouth. Drive to Janelle's house, stay there, spend the night, drive to
Uh-huh.
Christine's house in the morning. So it was like every day he was moving. So that means like when they were in the rentals and they were far apart from each other, sometimes he wouldn't see some of the kids for like 4 days because he's like going to
Yeah.
everyone's house, which is
Yeah.
like, I mean, and they would always be like, this is what we signed up for, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just like, that's fucking nuts. Like,
That is nuts.
they kind of sign up to be like single parents a percentage of the time.
Yeah.
And so they're in Vegas for a while. I think they were in the rentals for like a year and a half. They buy this property and they build a cul-de-sac, which was honestly the best move because
Mhm.
it was like a private area. They had four houses next to each other. Like,
Mhm.
wouldn't that be kind of like the ideal?
Mhm.
So they all lived next to each other. They got back together. It was kind of hard because they had lived far apart for so long, but now they're back together and they're having these family parties. They're experiencing this life again. Everything's good and well. By this time, Robin and Cody had a baby, but no one was like really excited about the baby, especially like the kids, because first of all, they didn't really accept Robin because like how
Because
do
of
we
how
like
she
see
got
you
in
as a mother
there.
figure? Like we're old. Like some of them were like in their teens or preteens. Like how do I see you as a mother figure? I didn't grow up with you. Like it's different. It's a weird dynamic. And then they also
Mhm.
had a baby like right when they moved to Las Vegas. Like this has been a very stressful time for us. And I get like you want to have a child, but like everybody's going through like some trauma, like having to abruptly
Yeah.
leave their home
Yeah.
because they felt like it was unsafe to be there.
Well,
So
wait, whatever happened with that lawsuit?
it so they sued Nevada once they weren't living there anymore and they won and there was like no law for a year like polygamists were free for a year but then like the law came back. So like it really
Mhm.
nothing really happened with it. And they don't
Mhm.
talk about it a lot as the
Mhm.
seasons progress. But I think just because like they just weren't living in Nevada. So like they couldn't do anything. Like the state couldn't do anything because you're not living within the state lines.
Yeah, but I mean, couldn't they have like charged them for the
Not they're not living in the
crimes?
state anymore because it was like it's illegal in Nevada, but sorry, it's illegal in Utah. It's not illegal in Nevada.
Right, but I was just saying, like, could they have charged them like from 2018, 2019. You were
I
living
don't
in.
think so.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
just
I don't, I
wondering.
mean, they don't talk about it a lot. They sued the state and they won. So obviously someone found them not guilty.
Mm,
But yeah, they don't talk about that much. So they get back in the house.
hmm
You start seeing these cracks. You start seeing like Robin really kind of like being the favorite wife, if you will. You start seeing her say, like, I can speak Cody. I can speak Cody. What do you mean? Like, you can communicate with your husband? You don't speak Cody. That is just a weird thing to say. Um, and things are like kind of chill, like the kids are growing up. You see some of the relationships progress. Vegas is pretty chill for a while. And then Mary, the first wife, she gets catfished. She gets catfished. So her and Cody were kind of having a
Wait, pause.
pause.
Are the women allowed to spiritually marry someone else too, or
No, no.
so why is she getting
Well,
catfished?
here's the thing. So her and Cody are, they've been in a bad place with their marriage for a while.
Mhm.
And she was like, I was just making friends online. And
Just making friends.
however much you believe her, who knows? Because in later season, she, comes out and says things and whatever. But she says, I'm making friends online. It's this guy named Sam.
Mhm.
And if you look up his picture, like he's this young, I don't even know if this guy's real. He's like a young, buff guy. Like, no offense. Why would he be interested in you? I'm sorry, I'm just calling out the facts. Like,
Yeah.
how do you not know you're being catfished? Or, I mean, I guess you didn't know that term, but how would you not know? So Mary's acting real weird. She's like losing all this weight really quickly. The family's concerned. They're like, why is Mary pulling away from us? And then boom, boom, Mary catfished. And
They
now we get,
find out on the news, basically.
oh, they find out. They find out. So then it's like the family like trying to deal with this and protect her even though like however they felt about it, they were probably
Yeah.
hiding feelings, but they're trying to protect her and being like, Mary, was lonely and she was just trying to find a friend online and this person came after her and she
Yep.
lost 30 pounds in 30 days. Like she was sick. Like this person messed with her.
Yep.
And like that's great and all, but like if you look up pictures, like she was sending like weird banana pictures and I'll insert them, but like a banana in her mouth, like
Oh, why?
she was hot
Oh.
for Sam. She was hot for Sam.
Ah, Sam. It reminds me of the potentially, I think she divorced him. What's her face? Britney Spears and Sam, the hot
Oh,
guy.
Sam Asghari. Yeah,
It's gonna
yeah.
flash with like him just
At
because
least
that's
he's
like
real.
I mean, how I mean,
Well, he's a
yeah,
person.
yeah, but that marriage was probably not real.
No, yeah, we're not team Sam, but so then it comes out she's getting catfished. Her and Cody are trying to work on her relationship. Um, then Mary starts meeting up with these other people who have also been catfished by the same person. And the family's like, this is kind of weird. Like, make sure these people are real. Like, this is odd. And
Yeah.
really, from that point, Mary and Cody's relationship had just changed. Like, they were never going back. Cody wasn't staying at her house. Like, it was like, we're married, but we're not married.
And Mary was
The
number
first
1,
wife.
the
First wife.
very first wife. Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yes. Yes. And while this is happening, Mary's the first wife, right? She has the legal marriage. She proposes. And this is again where it's like, where did Robin have a say in this, right?
Mhm.
She proposes, I will get a legal divorce from Cody so that Robin can get a legal marriage to Cody so that Cody can adopt Robin's kids.
Why did she want the kids to be adopted?
Why did Robin want the kids to be adopted?
Yeah.
Well, if anything ever happened to like if Robin ever died or something, the family would have like no legal claims on the kids. And like that's where they were living and growing up. Like they don't see their dad. we don't know a lot about him other than what Robin says. And like she makes him out to be this like really bad guy. But then you see people that are like, I am Preston Jessup's cousin. Like Robin financially destroyed him and then left. And like she's making him out to be this bad guy. So like we don't really get a full clear picture, but like Robin is terrible with her finances. She talked about it on the show.
Mhm.
So like wouldn't be totally surprised if she screwed somebody financially. Like she's not
But
good with the finances.
but why does Mary not want her kids to be, or I guess
No,
her
Mary's child is biologically Cody's.
oh, okay.
Right. So
So
like all of the three OGs, their kids are biologically Cody's. So like
gotcha.
it doesn't matter if you're
Got that makes
married or
sense.
not. But
Okay.
Robin's three OG children are not biologically Cody's.
Gotcha. Okay, it's making sense.
So Mary gets the legal divorce, Robin gets the legal marriage, and honestly, it's so invalidating. Every time Mary talks about how hard it is, Robin's like, but you don't get it. Like, you did this and you love my children and blah, blah, blah. And Mary's like, yeah, but I still don't like to say that I'm divorced. And she's like, I've been divorced. This is not heartbreak. This is, you love my children. And it's like, okay, Robin, shut up. Like, you are so annoying.
Hmm.
So that starts to put a wedge between things. You start to see Robin being really shady, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, Robin's like, you can't convince anybody to do anything. Like I had no power in Mary divorcing Cody. Like she did that for my kids. And it's like, really? Well, you're kind of a manipulator. We've seen you move, Robin. So I don't
Uh-huh.
believe you.
Uh-huh.
So fast forward a little bit more. Um, Robin has her last baby. So now they overall have 18 children.
Wow.
And some of the kids get married. Some of the kids, they start having babies, they move out. Like it's the natural progression of life. And all of a sudden, Cody has this crazy idea. Remember, I said the cul-de-sac was like kind of an ideal living situation. Four houses right next to each other. Cody has this idea. He's like, does this whole presentation. His hair's fucking wild. Like,
Wait,
talk about a hair mask. He needed a hair mask during those seasons.
pause. So how are they making money? By the show and
By
then
the
brand stuff?
show, they work for like a marketing company, which is probably an MLM. They don't say names, but like they got paid for the show. Um, if you look up the payment, I think it was like $40,000 per episode per wife.
Wow.
That I have to check the year on that, but they were getting paid pretty well. But they also have 18 children, four mortgages. So it's like they're
Yeah.
putting out a lot of money.
Yeah.
They had the marketing business, which they don't really talk about a ton. Janelle tried to get into real estate. I don't know how successful that was. They don't talk about it that much. Robin started this business called My Sister Wives Closet. It was the fucking ugliest jewelry you've ever seen in your life. Literally
Well,
so
I
ugly.
I bet you it was like huge statement
Yeah, it was a
necklaces.
lot of statement jewelries. It was just like the weirdest shit. And it's like,
Mhm.
these are high quality pieces. Bitch, no, they're not. They look
Yeah.
horrible. Like
Yeah.
they're so ugly. And then I think the what like Mary does Lulu Row. She still does. She always did it. And then I think some of the other wives, like we know the other wives, Janelle and Christine Duplexis. So
Mhm.
they were making money through, MLM because they really can't have like a normal job because they're
Mhm.
on TV and maybe people wouldn't want to employ them necessarily. So but they had a lot of jobs. So Cody comes in, again, needs a hair mask. His hair is fried. He comes in and he's like, ladies, where we go on, we go all. Let's move to Flagstaff, Arizona. For like no reason, right? Like they don't have family there. They've got a pretty good setup here. Why are they going to leave?
Mhm.
They're currently, if they're in Vegas, they're like 4 hours from family in Utah. If they move to Flagstaff, they're 8 hours away from family in Utah. Doesn't really make sense. The wives are like, kind of, I don't know about this. You can't make us move, blah, blah, blah. They do end up moving, right?
But why? What was the benefit?
Because Cody was like, we're going to get so much equity out of these houses. And Vegas was never home. We were exiled, and I came to Vegas. This place was exile, and I was free here, but I never chose to live here. Like, this was never talked about on the show. Like, it's odd because it seems to the viewers it comes out of nowhere, right?
Hmm.
Comes out of nowhere. Personally, I think they're just fucking chaotic and they like to move. Before
Hmm.
this information comes out, before Robin got into the family, the OG3 and Cody moved like 18 times.
How is that possible with all those people?
Well, they didn't have all the kids right at once. Like maybe it was
Oh.
like when they first got married, like the whole family first got married, and then when some children were born, and then maybe it
Uh-huh.
wasn't moving states, but it was moving towns or moving houses or shit like that. But they literally
Uh-huh.
counted it up. I'm
Hmm.
like, that is some chaotic shit. Like to move that much, you're not moving because any other reason than like you crave chaos. Like that is just crazy.
100%. I mean, I've moved not that many times and I hated it. I
It's
moved
horrible. No
twice.
one likes moving sucks. It's
Actually, no, four
insane.
times. Yeah. Yeah.
So the wives all finally are like into it. They're like, okay. And then here's where it is. Robin goes to Cody, wherever we go, like I need Dayton, her oldest son, who is on the spectrum. He has autism. She's like, wherever he goes, I need to be near him to help him like settle and transition into the college lifestyle. And Cody's like, okay, okay. So they agree on Flagstaff.
Hmm.
Dayton all of a sudden says, oh, and while we go visit Flagstaff, can we go see the college? And then Robin's like, yeah, make your announcement, bud. Like you tell them. And he's like, oh, I got into whatever the college is, like in like near Flagstaff. Suspicious.
So he wanted to do that for Robin.
Robin probably was like, what about Flagstaff? What about like blah blah blah? Like I think the two of them were fucking colluding the whole time. They were behind everybody's back, making decisions. And
Yeah.
I think Robin was probably like, no, we have to do what's best for the family. And Cody's like, Robin, you sacrifice everything. We're gonna do what's best for you this time. Like she knew how to
Yeah.
play him. She played him like a fiddle.
Are they still together now?
Robin and Cody, yes, they're soulmates.
And she's the last one there now, right?
Yeah, but like he legit found his soulmate. And this is why it all imploded.
Wow. So what now the Flagstaff, they're moving to
So they
Flagstaff.
moved to Flagstaff.
What season is
They
that
season 14 or 15,
out of?
19.
Oh wow, okay.
Like they when they moved to Flagstaff, they knew they were going to have to be in separate homes and rentals and like build all over again. And then Cody, as soon as they got there, was like, oh my God, I just realized I'm not going to see some of my kids for like 4 days. And they're like, what are you talking? Like, we talked about this. We told you. And honestly, that's where the family culture really starts breaking down because they're so
Mhm.
far away from each other.
Mhm.
Cody's running ragged. His hair is insane. Like, he looks like a crazy person.
Uh-huh.
And then COVID happens
Uh-huh.
and they're all not living like in one house. And so some of the wives are less, they're not as crazy. Like all of them were like, we're all following CDC guidelines, we're doing our best, but Cody and Robin are just fucking insane. And they're like wiping down their mail. And I get like in the beginning of the pandemic, like it was really fucking scary. Like we didn't know
Mhm.
what was
Mhm.
causing it and transmitting it, but Cody was so like accusatory and pointing the finger at everybody and like, I will be respected. And if you're not going to conform to patriarchy, and they're like, when was that the agreement? Like, this
Yeah.
is a marriage. This is not
Yeah.
whatever you fucking say. So this is
Yeah.
where the family culture starts to break down,
Mhm.
truly. Um, and really fast forward, like a lot of the COVID stuff was boring. They just like fought all the time. Everybody was
Mhm.
unhappy. The kids were unhappy.
Mhm.
A lot of the kids, like Janelle and Christine's kids, stopped having a relationship with Cody
Do they do
because
any like interviews with the kids and stuff?
they do some. Yeah, but a good portion of the kids like no longer want to be on the show, so they don't
That's
they
That's
don't
good.
talk about them. They kind of keep it, respectable, which I like because,
Hmm.
you have a choice. You should.
Yeah.
And then some of the kids, it's really heartbreaking though, because they're like, we just want our family together. And we feel like our dad is like ripping us apart and
Hmm.
hitting us against each other. And it's like, oh my God. Like,
Hmm.
you're supposed to be the dad. It's like he only
Hmm.
cares about Robin's kids.
And how many does she have?
She has three that are hers, and then they have two together.
Ah, gotcha. And who was the one who could only have one?
Mary.
Mary.
So, like, her kid has been out of the house for years. Cody hasn't been staying with Mary. So, like, she's always alone. It's really sad.
So Mary, does she uh move with them to Flagstaff?
They all moved to Flagstaff. Yeah. Because she's like, I'm hanging on for hope. And Cody really strings her along for like probably 10 years. Like they were married, they had like a good relationship, let's just say for like 20 years. And then
Yeah.
like the last 10 years of their marriage, 12 years, whatever, just like stringing her along, not giving her the business, not being like, I don't want to be married to you anymore. It's almost like he wants everybody to leave him and not say he's leaving them.
I wonder why. You would think, because like
Well,
if
he's an asshole.
yeah, but I'm just saying like the ego, like
I
a
think
lot of
that's I think it's part of the he feels like it's his duty. Like I'm never
ah.
going to leave you. Like you can be a part of my family, but I'm not going to have a full-fledged marriage with you. I'm gonna kind of
Oh.
ignore you.
So
Like
she
pushing you away.
yeah. So she only divorced him legally. She didn't divorce him spiritually.
No, not at this point.
Oh.
The drama. Dun dun dun.
I'm like almost like, can you not tell me everything so I could start watching?
Honestly, you watch it anyways, and because I am leaving out big chunks of like not stuff that's not important, but like the
Yeah.
details, like of the good times, like, and you're like,
Yeah.
wow, like it's really sad to see what the fuck happened, and
Yeah.
then when you are watching like the current seasons, they'll talk about, well, we never talked about this before, and now we are because I'm no longer involved. Like, I'm not married to him, so I'm gonna spill the beans. And it's like, wow, like it's a sad situation. Um, so basically they moved to Flagstaff COVID, right? And that's where the family falls apart. And Christine leaves first, like officially.
Hmm.
Um, and Robin, oh my God, listen to what she says. So,
What'd she
because
say?
they had a spiritual marriage, like obviously there's no legal process of divorcing,
Yeah.
but if you are in the religion still, you would have to get like a spiritual release. But Christine's like, I don't believe in the religion. Like, I'm not a part of that religion anymore. I don't vibe with it.
Wait, Christine,
Yeah.
is that one of the OGs?
Yeah. That's the third wife.
So she isn't Mormon then?
So, over the course of the show, because they don't like they're not living near other plural families, they don't go to the church, like they all kind of like lose their religion.
Oh.
But Christine was like one of the more vocal about it, especially during this time. And she's like, well, I don't associate with like the fundamentalist Mormon church anymore. So, like, I don't need a spiritual release. And Robin says in an interview, like, so it's not
Oh
you,
God.
it's not in front of the people, but she says it just to the camera. She's like,
Uh,
well, technically, Christine isn't divorced until she's physical with another man. What? Robin, what the fuck?
why would she say that?
Because she is such a bitch. And she is just like likes to just like poke people. And it's
Yeah.
like you have no control over my life. The fact that you said that was weird as hell. She just likes
Yeah.
to, I think, like play the part of like, oh, I'm just like so innocent. And I'm just like, I'm the perfect wife. And I just want this family to be together. And it's like, oh my God, Robin. Like you're being so inauthentic right now. And like, what kind of girl's girl is that to be like, well, she's not married until she has sex, or she's not divorced until she has sex with someone?
Someone who, I don't know, needs to have
What
the
a
last word. Yeah.
psycho. Well, she didn't
Yeah.
say that to Christine. Like, she has no
Right,
balls.
right,
If
right.
you meant that, say it to Christine's face. But she said it like in the confessional,
Oh.
like fake as fuck.
Yeah. Was she
Fake.
nice to Christine?
They were nice at times. Like, they got along. Like, especially when Christine's daughters were getting married, they had a close bond. Like, they would laugh and hang out and do things. And then Cody's like, "You were never to Christine. You were never a good sister wife to Robin. She always tried to love you." And then he does this whole like this man literally thinks he's like an actor.
Uh-huh.
He gets up, and I perform this for James sometimes, and he thinks it's the funniest thing. He like stands up from his chair and he's like, let me back up. "After all these years, it's like a knife in the kidney to love you, the sacrifices I made." And it's like, oh my God. I would have the biggest ick. Like if I wasn't Christine divorcing him, if I was the other ladies, I'd be like, yeah, sign me up for that divorce too, because what the fuck was that? And then he
Oh.
like storms off and he has like ramen noodle hair. Like the whole thing is just embarrassing. And I like love reenacting it. Like it is literally a passion of mine because like what was that? Literally what was? It's so bizarre. And like Robin's like, Mary's like, because she's like on their side. She's on like Cody and Robin's side. And Janelle and Christina are just kind of like, yeah, so weird. So
Oh
fucking weird.
God.
Honestly, the show is a gag. It's so camp. And now we have season 19. Like we are hopefully catching up. I hope the spring season really catches us up because we are still like we in the beginning or like middle of season 19, we watched Christine's wedding and like her and her husband had already been married for a year. So
Oh,
it's
I
like
remember you telling me this. Yeah.
we got to catch up. And like there's a lot of stuff that has like gone down and unfortunately, it's really so sad. Janelle's son and Cody's son, he uh killed himself. And
Oh,
that a a lot of it, I mean, and obviously you have no idea how long people have been struggling and what their mental health is like, but
yeah.
Janelle talks about so much during the COVID times how she was worried about her children's mental health and like how they didn't have a relationship
Oh.
with their dad anymore. And it's like,
They go ahead, sorry. I'm
well,
just jumping ahead.
I don't know how I don't even know how they would cover it, but like I hope if they choose to cover it, I hope like Janelle is completely in charge of how they cover it and like
Yeah.
because it is kind of it would be exploitative to like really just talk about this and advertise on it. I don't know if they would, but like it
I
just
mean, they can talk about it without like totally advertising about it. Just like I mean,
yeah.
it's, you
I
like
just hope if it's handled that like she's in charge of how it's handled.
yeah.
And I'm
Did they
sure she will be, but it's
they didn't say anything about why he didn't?
why he did.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I honestly, that type of stuff, I don't love to read into the articles because I'm like, they're not here. Like,
Yeah, that's sad.
it's it's too sad and like you no longer have a say. I mean, you don't have a say usually regardless when you're in the public eye and people
Yeah.
write about you. But I was just like, this is so gut-wrenching. Like I read
Yeah.
Janelle's posts and I follow her and her kids, but it is just so devastating, especially like it's the parasocial thing. Like when you watch like when you're watching them, like you literally see him probably when he was like 7 all the way up
Mhm.
to like I don't know, maybe 23. Like it's really sad. And they
No.
did dedicate an episode to him. So like that was like a slight like it was an acknowledgement. But since they are trying to catch up to modern times, I don't know if they will cover it or if they'll just like move past it. And not in a way of disrespect, but like maybe it's just too painful to go there.
Mhm. That's
So
sad.
it's a lot. I mean, there's so much heartbreak in that show. Um if you look at it from like just like a purely human level, it's like this narcissistic man ruined like his family because
Yeah.
he fell in love with his soulmate and didn't have the decency to tell the rest of his wives. It just like he just started treating them like shit.
That is super sad.
So I recommend, I recommend, like I'm getting paid for this. I literally, if anybody wants to watch Sister Wives, I will always talk about it. There's a group chat between my one of my best friends and her older sister, and it's called Sister Wives, and I'm periodically like checking. I'm like, okay, where are you at? Where are you at? And she gives me the updates because I have nobody that watches it. Like James will pop in on an episode or two, but all I have for support is people that like recap it on TikTok, and you better believe those videos come up like every other day. But
I will start watching it because I just did, like 2, 3 different seasons of Love Is Blind. I did the most recent one. I did Love Is Blind Habibi, which we could talk about because
is it good?
the culture differences are shocking, shocking. Like,
Yeah.
it just I mean, it's Saudi Arabia. It's a whole different world, and the one oh, we
Wow.
maybe we should talk about that next time, just
We should.
a little
Yeah.
pop culture. And then I
Yes.
did Love Is Blind, it was like, where was it? It wasn't Sweden, I can't remember which one it was, but then I was like, "I'm Love Is Blind out right now." So I
Mm.
started watching The Leopard. It's a limited series on Netflix, and it's about, Sicily before and during
Oh.
the when they, joined with Italy.
Mm.
So it's all like a period drama, like, think of Bridgerton, like, that's what it's
Mm.
like,
Mm-hmm.
the girl was supposed to marry her cousin, and then he fell in
Ugh.
love with the mayor's daughter, and you know what I mean, and
No, the
yeah,
drama.
it's good, but it's gonna end soon, so I need something new to watch.
White
I did want
Lotus is also great.
I that's on my list too. I just realized, as far as guest episodes, because again,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think we explained this very well last time, but we do one guest episode a month. So we just had lovely Madison on. We are interviewing tomorrow, not tomorrow, Friday, a friend coach of ours, but we're gonna talk about decluttering, and she talks about decluttering
Mm.
your house. I'm really excited because like I feel like I have just been collecting things. I'm good for you see The Office here. I mean, it looks pretty good. Um, but yeah, is there anything you wanted to anything?
Um, no, I don't think so. If you guys again are new here, follow us on Instagram, kind of hot, kind of healthy. Follow us on YouTube, same thing. Follow us on TikTok, same thing. If you watch us on YouTube, there are exclusive episodes, extended episodes, and it is just really fun. We are more fun on YouTube. However, if
Mhm,
you want to listen to us driving in the car, also understandable. You can download
mhm,
us. But I am a big watch on YouTube type of gal because
mhm.
it's just that parasocial relationship I love to talk about.
100,000,000%. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching Kinda Hot, Kinda Healthy. Please make sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share it with your girlfriend who needs to hear this. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere where you can stream podcasts. If you have burning questions about life, friendships, health, and 1 or 2 cents, email us at kindahotpod@gmail.com. That's KINDAHOTPOD@gmail.com. Bye.
Bye.